This is the Dave Ryan Show's War of the Roses. Live tweet your reaction using hashtag Dave Ryan Roses.
There's a certain part of every War of the Roses that makes you go, huh. And you'll hear that part in this story a little bit. I mean, this War of the Roses, it seems, I don't know, kind of run-of-the-mill. Because we get a lot of the War of the Roses entry, and they all basically start out with, I think he's cheating, or I think she's cheating because ABC.
Right.
But then sometimes there's something in there that makes you go, whoa. Like a couple of weeks ago, it was the guy who was trying to get with a woman whose name started with every different letter of the alphabet.
Okay. Yep. That was definitely gross.
And then, there's a lot of other ones. But this one, I'm going to go ahead and let Melissa tell you why she's on War of the Roses, then listen for the part where you go, whoa. Hi, Melissa.
Hi. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being on. So tell me, what's the whole story about you and your husband, Jason?
So I found him cheating on me in the past. I found a necklace on our nightstand, and it was pretty obvious. And so he just confessed. And so I made him give me the girl's phone number, and I called her, and of course I started screaming, and I told her to stay away from my husband, and, called her a bunch of names and whatever. But then, of course, she comes back with, yeah, well, I f***ed your husband in your bed. I took a bath in your bathtub. I used your toilet. I wore your cheap bathrobe and your cheap Wal-mart slippers. And that's the
part that got me, because
gross.
Instead of like any kind of like, I'm sorry, I
Guilt,
apologize.
shame, like remorse.
So she threw it back at you because, when you said that there's a necklace on your nightstand, I was like, they didn't hook up at a park, at her place, at a hotel. They hooked up in your bed.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got the number from your husband and said, let me call her right away. I'm going to call her. Give me your number. I'm calling her right away. You called her and you told her to stay away. And instead of saying, I'm sorry, whatever.
Like a normal human being.
Wow. So how did that make you feel?
Well, of course, I was furious. I've since calmed down slightly, but he apologized and he said it would never happen again. And look, this is my marriage. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to.
What a horrible person, though.
Yeah.
Who would say that? Yes, I did. I did it in your bed. I wore. And she called did she say cheap Wal-mart slippers or ugly Wal-mart slippers?
Cheap.
So
cheap and my bathrobe and my slippers.
So she was there.
She had this woman in her house.
Banging your husband in your house, in your bed, took a bath in your bathtub, and then wore your clothes?
Apparently.
Oh, my God.
How could your husband let her do that? Because, seriously, it's bad enough that he's cheating in your house, but gross to let this woman wear your clothes.
Well, you know what? My doubts are starting all over again, so I don't really have too many great things to say about him right now either.
Right.
Okay.
So there are new red flags, then, I take it.
Yeah. So, since this all happened, he really has been attentive, and he's been answering his phone and, you know what I mean, like checking in multiple times throughout the day and just, kind of just touching base often, I think, to make sure that I'm confident in us. And now all of a sudden he's not answering his phone, and now he claims he's falling asleep places at his desk at work, fell asleep in his car. And
fell asleep in his car?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Must have been so exhausted.
So he's like in the parking garage at work and he falls asleep in his car, can't answer his phone.
Right. Well, look, we all get tired. I understand that. We all have hard days and long days. You're telling me you're doing this on a regular basis? Come on. It's just a little too weird. And all I'm doing is, like, imagining his phone on her nightstand.
Yeah.
And he's just not answering it.
I don't buy the, like, falling asleep or, like, the person who has their phone on them 24/7.
Yep.
Conveniently, they're like, oh, I left it on my desk or I left it in my work bag. You're like, no, that phone is always on you. So,
big time.
It's such a lie.
The only one who does is Susan will set her phone down for like 3 hours at a time and not come back to it. And I'll be like, I called you over and over. She's like, oh, yeah, it was in the kitchen.
There are some people like that.
I'm not like that.
No.
You call me, I won't answer it. But if you call me, I know it's you calling, but then I'll just push reject. Or if I don't push reject, because then I push reject.
Right. I keep mine on silent. That's like my phone's always on silent.
Yeah.
but I will see it within a matter of time. It wouldn't be hours later.
So when I call you to ask you why you're late for work, you know I'm calling you.
Yeah, I'm ignoring you.
And you're ignoring me.
Yeah, or I see it a couple minutes later, I'm like, oh, never mind. Not answering that.
So when you call Jason just to say, hey, where are you? You're running late. He doesn't answer, and then he'll say he fell asleep. And you think this phone is on the nightstand next to a bed somewhere.
I think it's next to her bed.
Okay.
Can I tell you that it sounds like, why are you doing War of the Roses? Because it sounds like...
I just need to know for sure.
Okay.
I know.
Well, it sounds like you're done.
I'm pretty much done. I think I just need that one more.
I understand
piece to push me over the edge.
I understand that. I will say, though, you took him back once after this kind of awful thing. And what we've learned is a lot of the time you could see it happening right in front of you and you would still take that person back.
Yeah.
And
this time it's not happening.
Okay.
And you know what? I think I had to the last time because I believed him. I really did.
Yeah.
I believed him. I believed he made a mistake, and I wanted to give our relationship that second chance. And you know what? It was a huge mistake on my part.
If he decides that he would rather be with a woman who treated you that way, even if he's just hooking up, that's a terrible thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't like people. There was somebody who was rude to Susan at the State Fair a couple of years ago, and I didn't like that person.
Yeah.
For somebody to tell you that, yes, I slept with your husband in your bed, I took a bath in your tub and wore your cheap Wal-mart slippers, I can't imagine how he'd want to be with somebody like that.
No.
Well, I think you're thinking like a reasonable person, and I just don't think he is right now.
Well, stay there, Melissa. We're going to come back in a second. We're going to call your husband and see who, if anybody, he'll send roses to.
I'm betting it's her.
Dave Ryan Show's War of the Roses. Tell us what you think using the hashtag Dave Ryan Roses.
101.3 KDWB.
Back for part 2 of War of the Roses. We're going to make the phone call to Jason in a second. But before we do, Melissa, for anybody who just turned the radio on or missed part 1, what is the situation on War of the Roses? What's happening?
Well, my husband cheated on me in the past, and part of the reason I knew he was cheating was because I found a necklace on our nightstand. And of course, I had told him he needed to give me the phone number. I confronted the woman over the phone, and instead of reacting like a normal person, maybe apologizing and saying, oh my God, I didn't know he was married or whatever, she just proceeded to insult me, tell me she my husband in my bed, and took a bath in my bathtub, and wore my cheap Walmart bathrobe and slippers, and used my toilet, and just obviously just a gross person.
You know what else is? I mean, that's all of it's gross. But what occurs to me is she was there for a while. I mean, if she had time to really did take a bath in your tub and then get out and dry off with your towel and put on your bathrobe, she wasn't there for a quickie. She was there for a while. And then, Fallon, tell me the truth. Do you think that she left the necklace on the nightstand on purpose?
Oh, I don't know. She sounds like such an awful person that didn't even cross my mind, but probably.
And there's no way he could talk his way out of it because it's like at the back of an earring, you might say, that's yours.
Yeah, but you're not going to do that with a necklace.
No. Do you take the necklace off during the lovemaking, Fallon?
Some, I do, yeah.
Why do you take it off?
It's gets tight around your neck or gets in the way.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the length.
What are you doing that the necklace gets in the way?
Huh?
What are you doing?
If it's long, it would get in the way.
Oh, okay. I was picturing something different. Okay. We're going to call him right now.
Why are you picturing anything?
I'm just trying to get the details. I want to find out what's going on.
Coworker.
Well, I want to tell you something. It doesn't sound like I don't have a lot of hope for this one.
Oh.
I mean,
I don't either, to be honest with you. I don't either. I think this is going to be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
I know people like you and marriages like yours, and I don't know a lot, thank God, but I know a few. It's like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm just so done. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity or time to just get out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what I'm picking up a little bit, but I don't want to, give you any ideas. Let's call Jason. Go ahead.
If I didn't get another inkling, I think I could have, I was beginning to trust him again. But now beginning to trust him again has kind of backfired on me. So I'm expecting the worst.
Okay. Well, I hate to hear that.
I know, that makes me sad. Like, to rewarding you with roses. So we have a dozen long-stem romantic roses for you, Jason. And it's just our way of saying thank you for being such a loyal customer and for taking the time to complete our survey today. So who would you like to send the roses to? We will need a first and last name to get those out for you today.
All right, cool. Well, the woman's name that I want you to send it to is Stephanie.
Okay, great. You can attach a note as well. We'll grab the address in a second, but you can attach a note if you would like to Stephanie.
Oh, all right. How about I'll see you in the break room.
Okay.
Is that the same Stephanie that you banged in your house?
Excuse me?
I'm just curious if you're sending roses to this woman Stephanie that apparently you work with. Is that the same Stephanie that your wife called and said, "Don't sleep with my husband anymore"?
I'm sorry. Who is this?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Really good question.
Yeah.
It's Dave Ryan over at KDWB, and that's Fallon over at KDWB.
Yeah.
And
your wife's on the phone.
And guess what? Your wife's on the phone.
Yeah, your wife, Melissa. No, Melissa, say hi.
Hi. So typical. Just so typical. Like, I'm not even surprised by this at all. But I hope you have a bag that you can pack your shit in and get out of our house.
Are you kidding me? What's wrong with you? Is this a radio station?
What's wrong with me? Are you kidding me? Really? What's wrong with me? You a woman.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
And then you're going to send her roses? Are you shitting me right now? You're out of
She's
your
a
mind.
friend.
Yeah, okay.
I want some free roses. I thought, wow, maybe my friends like it,
Okay, but that's...
something different.
But
you and I are pals too then, huh, buddy?
Well, I mean, this is not only a coworker / friend, but this is apparently, from what I understand, is that the name of the woman, Melissa, that he slept with that you called and said, "Stay away from my husband"? Is that Stephanie?
Yep, and it's the same woman that said they had sex in my bed. She took a bath in my bathtub, wore my clothes, peed in my
toilet. All right, well, that was in the past.
Really
that's not happening right now.
Okay, well, you just send her roses.
So, it's like a friendly gesture.
A friendly gesture to the woman. I got to tell you, if anybody had ever talked to my wife and said the things that Stephanie said to Melissa, I'd be really unhappy about anybody who treated my wife that badly.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're a marriage counselor now, yeah? You're a marriage counselor? No? Oh, you're a fucking radio DJ? Well, then shut up.
It's true. You're just a fucking radio DJ.
But he's a radio DJ that isn't going to be going through a divorce. So he's got one up on you, pal.
You know what? This is ridiculous. I'm done with this.
Good. I hope you lose your keys to the house. Please do not plan on coming home tonight. And enjoy your buddy.
Okay, there it is. There's your War of the Roses. A lot of comments on this one. Somebody said he clearly doesn't respect his wife. Sounds like she could do better. I thought bringing her... And there's never a circumstance where cheating is okay.
No.
But to just add insult to injury, to do it in their house, in their bed, which we've heard before on War of the Roses,
which is bad
times, and then to take a bath in her tub, and then to let her know and say, you know what, I put on your robe and your cheap Wal-mart slippers.
It's cold-blooded.
Why would the husband...
Because he probably thought it was funny at the time, and he probably didn't care and didn't think he was going to get caught, so it didn't matter.
But why would he just let her make that extra dig at his wife right in front? I mean, to put on her robe, and then the woman is not even doesn't even have the decency to just hang up when she calls, but has to insult the wife by saying,
it's not a good person.
I was in your bed, in your tub, I peed in your toilet, I put on your robe. What do you think?